The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And hello and welcome to Open, the one and only show opening the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm your host, Darren Jaime, and today we'll update you on what's happening in and around our community. Coming up on today's show, we'll find out about an upcoming event that will take you through the streets of the Bronx. Then we'll find out how you can navigate to a healthier life. And after that, you'll find out about a program helping students and parents with school transitions. Then we'll find out what has happened to the food industry a year after Superstorm Sandy. And later on, we'll discover where you can get the best dessert in the Bronx. And finally, we'll sit down with the director of a Halloween performance festival, and you won't want to miss it. So stay tuned, because all this and much more is heading your way, because right now, we're officially open. And hello everyone, I'm your host Darren Jaime, and today is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2013. Of course, you're watching Open, the only live and interactive program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. We want to encourage you to stay connected to us. You can find out about us at Twitter at BronxNet TV and Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Well, nearly 6,000 cyclists will be hitting the road on Sunday for the 19th annual Tour de Bronx. Here now to tell us more about this very special event is Executive Director of the Bronx Tourism Council, Olga Torrado, and she's here with us. And
hi,
how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
When I see you, I know it's that time of the year again.
It's that time of year again, yes.
So the Tour de Bronx
Tour de Bronx
is coming our way, and for cyclists, honestly, it's a time of great excitement for them, but also for the borough.
Of course. Well, this is an opportunity not just for people to get out there and start pedaling for their health, but it's also an opportunity for people to come from all over and really experience the Bronx. Go through the Bronx and see sights, see the historic districts, see the Bronx in a way that they don't normally see it on a day-to-day basis. So we're really excited about that.
Throughout the years, you've seen a tremendous increase, if you will, in cyclists,
yes,
as well as those watching. What do you think has been the motivation behind people coming out and just checking this out?
Well, you know, when you see this ocean of bicyclists coming down the street with their Tour de Bronx, with the logo of the Tour de Bronx and their bibs and in full regalia, it's pretty exciting because as a community person, you see these people coming in and you know, that they're there because they want to be there. They're there because they want to see the Bronx, and people come out of their homes and they wave and they, cheer them on, and it's really pretty exciting for them. So I think really for us as Bronxites, as the community, as a borough, this is really one of our favorite times of year. I mean, there's so many to choose from, but this is really a great time of year.
So walk us a little bit through this. So where does it start? How does it go? How does it end up for somebody who's watching who doesn't know?
Well, first of all, you got to register. Okay, you register online. You go to ilovethebronx.com. And right there, you'll see a little click, and you just click on there and you register for the ride. Once you've registered, you get a confirmation. You bring that confirmation with you to 161st Street in the Grand Concourse, where the county courthouse is, and you register for one of two rides. There's a 40-mile ride for the real enthusiast, and then there's a 25-mile ride, which is more for the casual rider. So when you get there, you'll see signs as to where you should go to get your bib. So one thing I always say to people, no matter which ride you're on, please wear a helmet. There are no unicycles, no tricycles, because this is really a pretty sturdy ride, even for the 25-milers. The Department of Transportation will be giving out free helmets on that day while supplies last. So get there early if you need a helmet, free helmets, because again, what we want to do is we want to encourage, yes, you're getting out there, you're enjoying the day, you're getting exercise, but we want you to be safe. So you go to 161st Street in the Grand Concourse, and there you'll be shown where to get your bib, and then just get ready to go.
So we're riding through 61 neighborhoods.
Yeah, yes. We're going through, well, the 40 milers will go, if you take a look at the map of the Bronx, the 40 miler, which I hope they're putting it up right now, right?
It's up right now.
Okay, good. You'll see that the 40 mile, which is the blue line, will go all the way around the edge of the Bronx, down, goes to Throgs Neck, goes to City Island, goes back around, goes up to Riverdale, and then both rides actually end at the New York Botanical Garden. What we're going to have at the Botanical Garden is we have pizza for the participants, where of course we have water, and along the way there's some rest stops, so they'll get to stop at the YMCA in Castle Hill. Both rides will stop there. They'll get some bagels and some juice, but both rides end at the Botanical Garden. We'll have free music. So it's a little festival. So we'll have live music. They'll get their pizza, their water, and then they can just chill and relax and, let the day just soak in.
So what does an event of this magnitude really mean for the borough of the Bronx, considering that you've got so many people from so many different walks of life coming right here to our borough?
Well, this is all done because Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., not only does he ride, but he also really promotes this particular ride. And this year, by the way, is the Bronx Marks the Spot. So that's, and he does this a lot. And that's where I got the idea to actually say the Bronx Marks the Spot. And what it means for him, for the borough, for the people that participate, is, again, our sponsors are Montefiore Medical Center, St. Barnabas, and Bronx Lebanon. It is about promoting health. It is about promoting exercise. Get out there, move. It's about also, through transportation alternatives, their mission really is to promote cycling as an alternative means of transportation. That way we're lowering our carbon footprint.
Right.
And for us, inviting people from outside. I mean, last year we had people from Tokyo, from I think there was somebody from Poland. Throughout the United States, we had Michigan was in the house, California, Pennsylvania. They came from all over to come and see our great borough. And for me, as the head of tourism, that's exciting because we get an opportunity to say, hey, come and see us. Come and visit. Not only visit, but come and ride through the boroughs and meet other Bronxites and meet other people who are here visiting. And you'll see a whole other side of the Bronx that you wouldn't normally see.
And you get a lot of participation from also the private sector and businesses and things like that who partner with you. Share with us a little bit about that collaborative partnership.
Well, Coca-Cola is giving us all the water and the Powerade, so we're really happy about that. We've got a lot of the, like for example, Botanical Garden is giving us the space where we end. A lot of the institutions that we consider partners, as in Woodlawn Conservancy, St. Raymond's Cemetery. The rides go through those two cemeteries as well. And we've got also the YMCA is giving us their space. So that kind of collaboration, this just doesn't happen. It really happens because there's a symbiotic relationship. There's a cohesiveness between the institutions in the Bronx, and we all come together and we make this happen. And this is the Bronx.
That's right. So one more time, we're going to give the information out for somebody who wants to be a part of the tour. What do they do?
They go to the ilovethebronx.com. There's more information in there on what the ride is all about, what the two rides entail. Just click on register and register to ride, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Alrighty, so Olga Tirado here with us, Executive Director of the Bronx Tourism Council. Take a look at that screen one more time. October 27th, 9:30 a.m. The starting location, of course, East 161st Street and the Grand Concourse. We invite you to come on out and be a part of that near Yankee Stadium. It's going to be an exciting time for, once again, the borough of the Bronx. We've got Bronx Week, we've got all the stuff, but really the Tour de Bronx is one of the great staples that we've got going on. 19 years. Thank you, Olga Tirado. Alrighty. Well, guess what? We got to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll find out how you can manage your health and navigate the healthcare system. We'll be right back when we return.
You can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first family, helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Barry, time is running out. According to my calculations, 1 in 5 kids in America struggles with hunger. How can so many children face hunger when there's more than enough food to feed them all?
Babadoo.
You're right, Barry. We can help solve hunger by teaming up with Feeding America to get food to hungry kids in communities across the country.
Help Flint and the Feeding America network of food banks get food to the people who need it in your community. Find your local Feeding America food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
Together, we're Feeding America.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
And we're back here on Open. Darren Jaime here with you. The Navigating Health Expo will not only help you manage your health, it'll provide healthcare information and resources for a career in the health field. Now, here to tell us more about the expo is Associate Professor at the School of Health and Natural Sciences, Kathy Riley, and Exercise Science Program Director, also from the School of Health and Natural Sciences. We've got Astrid Mell, I should say. I had it right the first time, and then I'm sorry.
No problem.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Talk about health now, and we're talking about really navigating health. And this is going to be a very special day because from 10:30 to 2:30, people will have the opportunity to find out more about healthcare and things of that nature. So give us a little bit about it.
Well, there's major issues in the Bronx, we know, with health, with obesity, asthma, some of the highest chronic conditions in the country. And at Mercy, we're trying to reach out to the community to help them navigate the system, which can be very overwhelming, especially right now with Obamacare, and really learning how to access healthcare, health insurance, as well as giving them hands-on sort of activities to do. Have the kids, we're going to have them walk through activities to do to actually focus on their health, nutrition, exercise, yoga, Zumba. The nursing program will be there doing sort of hands-on health activities to promote health careers. I think that we want to bring more people into the health careers so that we'll infuse the Bronx with more people from the Bronx taking care of their patients in the Bronx.
Astrid, are we finding more people becoming involved in being a participant in this healthy lifestyle? Because this is what you're actually promoting, a more healthy lifestyle. Are we finding more and more people becoming cognizant and being active?
I think we are. I think there's a lot more information out there. There's a lot more educational material available, and with different possibilities, just like we had the example of the bike tour, there are different activities that are being presented and different opportunities for people to participate in. So I think this is a great way for us to jump in and say, hey, we have some activities, and not only that, but what are the benefits that you can get from those activities? So what are the health benefits that you can get from being active? And how can you be active when maybe you don't have that much time? It's still possible. How can you be active when maybe you don't have a gym membership? Well, it's still possible. So we want to present these ideas and give different opportunities for people to get active, get moving, and get healthy.
And you want children to be a part of it too, and I think you're doing a very proactive thing. You're making interactive activities for children so that way you can kind of like draw them in.
Yes. Yeah, so reaching out to them to actually not only take control a little bit of their own health, be interested in it, want to educate themselves, and actually hopefully eventually come into some of these careers.
So when we talk about the healthcare system right now, we know about the Affordable Care Act that's coming around the corner. How are we, if you will, informing people, and what is out there for people to really tap into?
Well, I think at the expo, first of all, we're going to actually have some hands-on education going on the system, learning how to access it, helping them with their choices. And I think for us, you know, I've worked in the Bronx for 23 years. It's really getting to know the community and having a trusting relationship so that we can walk them through the system, which is why we kind of call it navigating the system. It can be very overwhelming to know how do you find a doctor, how do you learn to trust them, how do you learn to when to call them, when not to call them, when to show up for your appointments. So really helping people with those. sort of activities.
And knowing that it's coming around the corner, a lot of people still have a lot of questions and things of that nature, so we want you to take advantage of it. We want to tell you exactly that if you want to be a part of this Navigating Healthcare Expo, it is taking place Saturday from 10:30 to 2:30, and so we want you to come on out and be a part of it and find out a little bit more. Give me a little bit about this here. We talk about careers. Careers are, before you only used to have one career, and people think, okay, but now it's almost like you're looking and people are having dual careers, and a lot of people are talking about health, a lot of people are talking about science, medicine, things of that nature. I know at this particular event, there'll be an opportunity for people to find out more, particularly about careers in this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead.
We have so many different health fields out there, and our college, Mercy College, represents physical therapy, occupational therapy assistant. I'm going to start the list. I won't be able to finish it. Nursing, exercise science, vet tech. So many different areas that you can get involved in and get a career in. And the exciting thing is that you can start with one career and then jump to another, as you said. And a lot of our grad programs are actually geared specifically for that, for people who already work and who are going to go into a second career or maybe just advance their career further. So that's what we're hoping to give more information about, that how you can do it successfully while still working, while still balancing and juggling other responsibilities.
Because it's a lot to try to juggle both.
Yes, it is.
And I think one of the nice things about Mercy is we actually have the PACT program where we actually promote success. So we offer, more than any school I've ever seen, support for the students to really recognize that you do have a life, you're trying to work, you're trying to take care of your own health. And so we have a lot of support systems for students as well as for faculty. With training the faculty, how do you support your students so that they succeed? So we really focus on getting them through.
So we want to continue to remind you, Saturday, November the 2nd, from 10:30 to 2:30, we invite you to come on out to the Mercy College campus. There you'll be able to be a part of the Navigating Health Expo. And we're talking about health, wellness, we're talking about careers, we're talking about passing on well-needed information for you, and especially with the Affordable Care Act coming around the corner, many people want to know exactly what is it and how does that help out, and how can I be a part of it, and what exactly do I have to do? Well, guess what? If you come on out there, I'm sure you can be given all the information that you need. That's 1200 Waters Place is where we're encouraging people to come on out and take part of it. So high school students can also come, and I know they're a big thrust after high school students to really get them informed as well.
Yes. So we'll be reaching out to them and actually having opportunities for them to speak to the faculty and the students that are out there doing it and get a feel for how do I get into nursing? What's it like? A lot of them are overwhelmed and afraid of it. And I think just letting them see that it's doable and it's a great career and there's always opportunities. No matter where you go, you'll always have a job.
And we'll have a chance also to speak to some students that are currently in the programs. We're going to have some panels, so students are going to be discussing, just informal panels talking about what made them go into these different fields and what are they hoping to accomplish with their degree from Mercy College.
So Mercy College fully represented. Kathy and Mel, we thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. Astrid Mel, I should say, and we want to thank you, sir, for being with us here today. I'm telling you, I messed this up twice. I had it right in front of me. It's just
no worries.
No worries. It's just one of those days. All right. Well, thank you so much, and best wishes on the expo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Stay right here, and we want you to stay right here as well, because guess what? We do have to take a quick break. But when we return, we're going to find out about another program helping young people and their families actually prepare for major school transitions. That's coming up after the break, so please stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
All right. Give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first. All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Look at me. Hey. Raymond, look at mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Guru. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
This was me. And Mom and Dad. And my big brother Alex. And Jack. This was the day that I learned that sandals get their name from sand. And that the ocean is bigger than all of us. This was the day we all got to forget that I was sick. This was my wish.
Well, the Center for Achieving Future Education is also known as the Cafe. It's a program helping young people and their families with two critical life stages, and the transition from middle school to high school and the transition from high school to college. And here now joining us is Jean-Pierre Lacour, who is the program coordinator for Bronx Works and the Center for Achieving Future Education, as well as Rocio Perez, who is a member of the Cafe. And thank you both for coming and sharing with us.
Good morning.
So the Cafe really gives young people an opportunity to advance themselves and really prepare them for a transition. So Jean-Pierre, give us a little bit more about this here.
The Center for Achieving Future Education, Cafe, what we want to do is give students all the opportunities to have good counseling as they start to prepare for either high school or college. We want to make sure that we're transitioning them to the right places, that they're looking for the right fit for themselves. Here in New York City, that, for example, from middle school to high school is a very significant time for them. So getting counseling on the schools that are out there, what's happening with the New York City school districts, with the changes of schools, sometimes closings of schools, that we want to make sure that students understand and the parents understand that the type of schools that are going to meet the child's needs. From the high school to college transition, we do everything from application process, financial aid, scholarship assistance, and also enrichment development, so that students can have a broader understanding of college once they are actually going off to college, so that when they get to those schools that they're selecting, or the school that they do choose to select, there is a relationship of understanding what their necessities are when they get there, and how to function and prosper when they're there.
And so Rocio's a member of the Cafe, and so how have you benefited or been helped by this Cafe?
Well, the Cafe office has helped me a lot, especially through college access. It helped me with my college access, helped me with Common App, because we go to Fordham University, right? Saturdays, 3 times we went, every week, Saturdays. And college students who have been through all of this, just like me, helped me with my Common App, helped me with the college essay. They explained to me how college classes are going to be, what are the things that I'm going to need for college, and it's really been helpful for me because now I'm a senior in CSSJ, and because they prepared me for that process, now I know what to do and I can help my peers.
And student-to-student mentorship, peer helping has to be very key because it helps them, I guess, naturally acclimate to the process.
It's really important. I think when we have students who work with students, I think that the relationship is a little bit understanding. I think any child that has a person in front of them that is very close to their age and they're explaining these circumstances to them, they basically can work a lot more effectively. I think as adults, sometimes a little bit of translation information gets lost. And I think the big part of that is like such as Rocio and other students of ours come back and are members of the office to kind of say, look, this is what I've gone through, and I can kind of walk you through the kind of steps that I've kind of either got to where I either hit a wall and I need help with, but now they're getting it from a student. And then the relationship that we have in mentorship at Fordham University, which is a community partner, their college students help us as well, because now the students who are high school students now see college students as mentors, and so that they can reach out to them and network with them.
Were you a little worried about the college process going in?
Not as much, because I had the help that I needed, and they also prepped me for that, all the things that I'm going to need. But it was kind of difficult because I had to deal with the Common App and CUNY application and SUNY and private colleges application. But because of that college access, and because I have my mentors that I can communicate anytime I need, they have helped me through that process, and it hasn't been as hard.
That's good. That's good. Give us a little bit more. There's a couple other programs we want to talk about. Talk to me about the History Makers program.
The Fordham University History Makers program is a partnership with Bronx Works and Fordham, funded through the Teagle Foundation. It's been around for going on 9 years now. The program specifically works with the African American History Department at Fordham University, and it deals with an educational system of learning history of the Bronx and also New York City, primarily on the diaspora of African American influences in the community. So the students actually are able to then sit with professors, PhD professors and mentors during a 5-week session during the summer, where it's an intensive program where they'll kind of be infused into learning all this information through oral history. So we've had going on 9 cycles of this. We've had over about 160 students have gone through this program. And it's one of our premier mentorship program and development program. Every year we seek some of the strongest students looking to kind of get that experience on a college campus. And it also prepares them for like learning how to do college research and how to work with the university and understand how to do that when they go off to college.
And so that transition is very important. And so do you feel comfortable now that you're in the process of making this transition? Do you feel more comfortable now than before?
Absolutely, because it's always been because of the program. They prep you and they help you, and it's not an easy process, but it helps you. It's little by little, step by step, and at the end it gets easier, and you kind of understand what is really college is about.
Jean-Pierre, so for somebody who wants to be a part of this program, they're out there watching here in the Bronx and they're saying, listen, this sounds like a wonderful thing. Who's eligible and what can they do?
Our program is free. It's a drop-in program. Students can come into our offices located on the Grand Concourse, register as a student. From 8th grade or even 7th grade, parents can come in. We help students all the way from middle school all the way through college. We actually have students who are GED students as well. So we work through the whole transition of academic support, and we're there to make sure that there's someone there to kind of help facilitate their development through this whole experience. So they can always get in contact with bronxworks.org, reach into our children and youth programs, and the Center for Achieving Future Education is on our website, and they can send an email, and I will receive that email, and then we'll disperse that amongst our staff to reach out to the potential students that want to come in.
If you could give a message right now to students who are watching, and somebody's out there watching and they want to, need some encouragement in this process, and how would you tell them, and what would you tell them about the program to get them to come on in?
I would tell them the program is a great experience. They will not regret it. It will actually make it easier for them to prepare themselves for college and the college process. And there will be people there to help you and guide you through the whole way until you get to college. So please, if you need help, please come to Bronx Works. We will help you.
Jean-Pierre, you got your first commercial going.
Definitely promoting the program.
That's it. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Congratulations and best wishes on the transition.
Thank you.
All righty, Jean-Pierre, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to take a look at some of the effects of Hurricane Sandy 1 year later. That's coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm Ruben Diaz Jr. I'm not just the Bronx Borough President, but I'm a father and an uncle. I can't emphasize enough how important it is for men and fathers to be a part of their children's lives. Let me talk to you about a program that's come out of my office, the Bronx Fathers Taking Action Committee, which is a committee of Bronx fathers and men formed to help uplift the institution of fatherhood while responsibly respecting the privilege of being a dad. Our mission statement is to engage, empower, educate, and encourage fathers, grandfathers, and uncles of all ages by providing them with the resources and help that they need in order to build new relationships with the leaders in our community. Ultimately, this initiative will help reinforce Bronx men as positive role models. So, I just want to take the time out to encourage fathers, grandfathers, uncles, men of all corners of the Bronx to take an important role in the lives of the children in your families and in our community, and also to get involved in this uplifting committee.
Good job, Theo.
Thank you.
Let's start it again, Theo.
All right.
Long before I was in Hollywood, I had a grandmother by the name of Estelle Marie Taylor, positive role models to make sure that I was on the straight path. Big Brothers Big Sisters carefully screens volunteers and places them in long-term mentoring matches with kids who face adversity. With more volunteers, especially men, and more donations, every little who needs a big can have it. Start something. If it's been a while since you've been involved, start something again. Learn more at bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
And we are back here on Open. Darren Jaime here with you. Our next guest has been working on an article looking at where the food industry stands in New York almost a year after Superstorm Sandy. Here to tell us what he's found is columnist Chris Crowley, and he is from SeriousSeats.com. And Chris, good to have you. And as we talk about Superstorm Sandy, it seems as though it's almost a year. A lot of people are still being hampered by the effects of Superstorm Sandy, and you took an in-depth look at the food service industry. So give us a little bit about where things stand with the food service industry.
Of course, I mean, I think the thing to remember is that when you have a storm of this scope, the effects of it are always going to last for a very long time. And the idea that it's going to go away, I mean, it's a very fragile industry to begin with, very low margins. And so when a business takes a hit like this, one of the businesses we talked to was a restaurant in the East Village called Northern Spy Company. They lost about a week's worth of business from the storm, but it took them 6 months to recover from that because of the margins. That was about $35,000, $5,000 a month in profit. So when you have businesses that were down in these neighborhoods in southern Brooklyn and Staten Island and the Rockaways where, it was, I went there the week after and it looked like Staten Island, it looked like it was bombed out.
A war
devastated. Zone. Yeah, I mean, people talked about the Rockaways like it was Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. Same scope of devastation because it was very vulnerable. So when you have these businesses down there that lost hundreds of thousands of dollars and received very little assistance in the end because insurance companies played, these companies had a lot of difficulty with their insurance companies getting the money that they thought they were going to get for interruption of business. Because the insurance companies, they said, would often tell them, well, we can't give you money because Con Ed isn't taking responsibility because they are saying it was a natural disaster, so it's not their fault.
Right.
Or, well, it was, they would play a game of semantics about whether it was caused by floodwaters or a hurricane. And so people wouldn't really get anything.
Now, going in, these food service industry businesses and restaurants and things of that nature, did they have an idea of how long they felt it would take for them to really get back up to rolling?
I think to cope with it, you always tell yourself it's going to take less time, because everybody told us, "Oh, we'll be back by this time. We'll be back by March," is what some people would tell us. The guys at Court Street Grocers said they would reopen their second store, but they didn't open it until July. And I think a lot of people didn't realize that problems would keep popping up. And you had, one of the major issues that people faced was just, a lot of contractors lived in these neighborhoods that were devastated, so they were helping their family, they were helping their friends. Businesses in those neighborhoods, they couldn't even necessarily get to you. The government couldn't necessarily get to you. Insurance companies would take time with paperwork, so everything just kept getting backed up and backed up. It would take maybe sometimes a couple months just to get off your feet. The Totono's Pizzeria down in Coney Island, one of the most iconic and important pizzerias in New York City, they didn't really get moving on their work until December. And every time you talk to them, we're going to open in a few weeks, because that's what they wanted to believe. So I think people need to say to themselves, we're going to get on our feet by this time, because you're losing every single week. It's a loss of business, and you don't want to think about that.
What was the biggest barrier when you really, the common denominator, what was the biggest barrier affecting everyone?
The biggest barrier?
In terms of, was it insurance? Was it the fact of lack of resources?
I think it was, nobody expects a storm like that to happen up here. And so people weren't prepared. And how do you really prepare for a storm like that? I don't think you can. I think insurance is inadequate by its nature to deal with something like this, because especially in the food industry, where you just lose product, you lose inventory, you lose business. It never comes back, because you and I aren't going to go to this restaurant 2 weeks after it's been closed 2 weeks with the storm. We're not going to go and eat all that, twice the amount of food. Say we go to this one place every single week, we're not going to order 2 pizzas. We're going to order 1. So that loss of business is permanent in this industry. It's different than other industries. But the biggest barrier was probably just the lack of, now from their perspective, insurance companies and the SBA might say otherwise, but the lack of help that these businesses received, because a lot of them just didn't get anything. And you were promised things, and so you went forward with your plans assuming that you were going to get money from the SBA, assuming you were going to get money from insurance, and then you get maybe $15,000 as the people at New York Bread down in Coney Island did, and one of their ovens cost $80,000, and they had to replace every single one.
So you have $80,000 for an oven, but you're only getting $15,000 back from an insurance company.
Yeah, and I mean that was kind of the common story, was whatever money we did receive wasn't enough.
So how are these businesses able now to, get there?
Debt. Some of them debt. Some of them just put it all on credit cards. Others, it's you don't go into that business to make money unless you're, very few businesses succeed in a way where you have large profit margins. You have companies like Chipotle or Subway. But if you're opening a business in New York City, a food business in New York City, a small business, you're doing it for passion. And so that same determination, passion, and perseverance that allowed you to do it in the first place and survive in a very hostile environment is the same thing that got you through this.
So pretty much now, a lot of people still trying to come back a year later.
Yeah, I think that for some people their plans have permanently changed. For some people they're saying we'll be back on our feet 6-7 months from now. It's just people. If you were some people were planning on opening up stores. Some of the people we had talked to, and it's just a year later. Well, maybe in a few months we will by the end of the year, or we'll do it next year. But they're definitely still getting back on their feet. It seems it's much more normal than it was then, because they've rebuilt their businesses, but they're still coping with those losses.
What do you do as an investigative reporter, and you're watching, and you're going through these various places, and you're taking looks, and you're seeing, how devastating the effect is? What do you do from your perspective in terms of getting the word out? What are you hoping that through your reporting that occurs?
I think that the biggest issue is that a lot of these businesses that were affected the worst by the storm, whether they were in the food industry or not, or in neighborhoods that are often neglected anyways. Down in southern Brooklyn, down in Rockaway, down in Staten Island, places don't get a lot of attention. I think it's just what our goal is to raise awareness about the fact that these businesses were devastated and that they need our support, and that sometimes they are really iconic businesses like Randazzo's in Sheepshead Bay, like Totonno's, businesses that have been here for decades and are part of the fabric of the city. For Totonno's, they help bring pizza to the United States, a food that's one of the most popular foods in the country. So I think that it's just we want there's a chance that place could have closed because of the storm, although they're too stubborn to have ever happened. But I think it's just to raise awareness about businesses that are otherwise not necessarily getting the attention, and to look more in depth than people are otherwise willing to look, and to remind people that a lot of people wanted to support these businesses right after the storm, but to remind them that they still need our support.
Right, 1 year later. Well, Chris Crowley is the columnist for SeriousSeats.com. He has done an investigative article into the food service industry and how it's been affected 1 year later since Hurricane Sandy. And if you want to find out more about Chris's article, you can go to SeriousSeats.com and be able to find out more. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, and good to have you. We'll have to bring you back and continue to give us an update.
Thank you.
All righty. Chris Crowley here with us. Guess what? Coming up after the break, we're going to find out about a dessert staple right here in the borough of the Bronx. We'll be right back right after this.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities. To ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give. Advocate. Volunteer.
Live United. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
And welcome back here to Open. Darren Jaime here with you, and we want to tell you about Lloyd's Carrot Cake. It's become a staple in the community as well as beyond. And here to tell us how successful they've been, because they have been over the last 25 years, is the owner of Lloyd's Carrot Cake, Betty Campbell Adams. And we want to also tell her that she's the awardee and recipient of the favorite dessert of New York City. It was awarded at the New York Business Expo last Thursday. And Betty, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you very much.
So you guys have been around for 25 years.
Actually, we've been around a little longer than that. We've been around for 31 years. We've been in the Bronx for 28 years.
Okay.
And in fact, we're going on our 29th year next April, or this coming April. So I call it a 31-year labor of love. We've been sort of pushing out our carrot cakes for that long.
What do you talk about 31 years? 31 years in a business is great. Many businesses can't even stay open 31 minutes, much less 31 years.
That is true.
Walk us through a little bit of the history. How did you first get started?
Well, it's a business that was started by my husband, Lloyd Adams, thus the name Lloyd's Carrot Cake. And Lloyd the recipe hails from St. Thomas, which is his hometown. It's his mom's and grandmother's recipe. And he sort of tweaked a little bit for his basketball buddies. So after watching games, the Knicks game on television, he would bake for them. And they sort of planted the seed that there was something there. And, he sort of went along and baked and decided that he was going to make this an actual venture, and reached out to a number of restaurants. In fact, Sylvia's restaurant was one of our first customers. And so the business model was really based on wholesaling to restaurants, coffee shops, and supermarkets. We baked out of my father's basement in Manhattan, and ultimately, we needed a larger space, so we moved to the Bronx, our current location, when that became available. And again, that space was solely for baking for our wholesale customers, but people would pass by, smell it, and sort of attracted them and developed a real following.
So what did you make up your mind? I'm going from wholesale into retail.
It sort of just happened. It really just happened because, as I said, it was a place to just bake for our wholesale customers. We were servicing a lot of the restaurants in Harlem and beyond, and people were passing by and they were like, wow, this is great, and they buy the cake. And a lot of the reason why we sort of developed to where we are now is because of word of mouth. And so people, sort of spread the word that this is a great cake, and they came, and they're still coming.
And this started from scratch.
And this started from scratch. It started from scratch. We're now in a number of different supermarkets. We're wholesaling to Zabar supermarket. We're in Food Emporiums. We're in Pathmarks. We are also in Macy's and Macy's Herald Square, and we're about to hit DC area.
Wow!
So the business is really growing thanks to our customers in Riverdale and beyond, because our customers really come from all over.
Any thought that once what was started in Father's Kitchen now will evolve to where we are right now?
No, it didn't. In fact, when I had my own career. I was a marketing director for a cable company, and when my husband told me he was going to bake, I didn't think it was real.
Yeah,
he said, I'm going to make this a business. I'm like, you bake?
Right.
And he sort of followed his dream, and I'm just sort of building on the foundation that he developed.
And at what point did you say, okay, I got to pull out of what I'm doing and really support
he passed away. He passed away 6 years ago, and I was sort of at the point where I needed to either focus on the business or focus on my career. I know I couldn't let the business go because that's something he really developed, and I wanted to, keep his legacy going. And so our company was going through a transition, and the timing couldn't have been any more perfect. We were going through a transition. I took a package and decided to solely focus on moving this business forward.
And you've been moving it forward since.
And I've been moving it forward since, yes.
And you got this award here.
And I got this wonderful award. I was so excited. I told people at the expo, this was awarded to me at the expo last Thursday, the New York Business Expo at the Javits Center. And I said to them, we've been featured on Food Network, we've been written about extensively, but this award means so much more.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it means that among my peers, people who are also in this business, they recognize Lloyd as one of the leaders.
And it started
as having the best carrot cake around.
And it started as a labor of love.
And it continues to be a labor of love. People ask me, why is your carrot cake so good? I said, well, it's the carrots and it's the love.
That's right.
That's what it boils down to.
Now you're taking the carrots and the love, and you're taking them from indoors to outdoors.
Right.
I understand you'll also be a part of the BronxNet Fitness 5K 100 XC run.
That's correct. This coming Sunday, our cakes and muffins will be awarded as prizes to the winners. And that's something that we've been doing for the Van Cortlandt Track Club for over 10 years. They use our cakes and muffins as prizes, and people look forward to it.
So if you're a winner, you just get some cake. And what happens if I'm slow and I can't do it?
Well, you come and buy one.
That's just how it works.
And in fact, people do that, with the Van Cortlandt Track Club. The losers feel so left out. They come and buy their own muffins.
That's right. They just glow in their loss and come over and have a
That's right.
So for people who want to find out more information about where you guys are located, maybe this is the first time they're actually hearing of you. What do they do?
Sure. We have two locations. What we call our flagship location is in the Bronx, in Riverdale, right across from Van Cortlandt Park at 6087 Broadway. And we also have another location in Manhattan at 1553 Lexington Avenue. And, we are also on the web. In fact, I encourage people to go on the web and look us up. We're at lloydscarrotcake.com, very simple. And you can read about us, you can find out about our offering, and see all our press clippings. We've been written about extensively. We've been featured in so many publications that it's all there.
I always ask people who own businesses this. You have vision, you have dreams and aspirations. What is the vision now? Because obviously you're quite successful at what you do, but I know successful people don't just stop there. They want to go further. What's in your vision?
Well, you know, it's so funny because it's something that every business owner, I think, is sort of stricken with. How do you move your business forward? What's next? And what's next for me is really moving into some other states. And so, as I said, we're now considering the DMV, the
Delmarva area.
Yeah, the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia area. So we're, talking to folks down there about getting our cakes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Well, you're doing it here in New York, and you're doing it across New York City, so it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks to all our customers. They've been loyal, and they continue to be. And watch for our line on Thanksgiving.
What's going on on Thanksgiving?
I just tell people to order early or come early.
Really?
Because we have a never-ending line, and so.
So usually, what's the best time to get in before Thanksgiving? Somebody's out there watching.
I would say, Thanksgiving is Thursday. I'd say come Tuesday.
Right.
Don't wait for Wednesday because it gets mad. Choose Monday or even Monday, and the cake holds up. It's got a really good shelf life. Yeah.
But just get in early.
Just get in early.
That's what happens when you're good. Just
right.
Betty, thank you so much for coming.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Great. Betty Campbell Adams, talk about Lloyd's Carrot Cake. And yes, they will be out there in coordination with the Bronx Fit Fitness 5K cross country run, and we encourage you to get on out there. And if you're a winner, you get to get some free. If you're a loser, well,
come buy it.
Come buy it is what the word is. That's it. That's it,
right.
Betty. Thanks a lot. All righty. Well, guess what? We have to take a quick break, but after this, we're going to talk about Halloween, a Halloween performance festival that you don't want to miss. And can you believe Halloween's already here? It's here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I don't know what's happening. Start a new chat. What did I do? Okay. Wow. That is so weird.
Hey! Hi!
Oh my gosh. Hi! God, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm so nervous. Gia, you're so big. Come closer to the camera. Wait, now you're in my face. That was so good. Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Okay, so this next segment is really scary. And with Halloween a week away, Nightmare on Bedford might be the event to spook you into the spirit. We can tell you now what you can expect. And we have one of the directors of the festival, Mr. Eddie Torres. And I'm scared to talk to you, but we'll talk to you anyway. Good to have you.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much.
So obviously Halloween means a lot of things to a lot of people, particularly for kids. But I mean, most of all, you guys are capitalizing on the opportunity for art, if you will.
Yeah, and
Nightmare on Bedford. So for somebody who doesn't know about Nightmare on Bedford, enlighten us.
Well, Art Defined Productions is a pretty new production company, and we're doing our most ambitious project this week coming up. Nightmare on Bedford, and this is a week-long performance festival. There is children's theater. There's theater just for adults. We got hip-hop dance, a couple of shows for that, and we have free movie screenings going on. So a lot of things going on. Actually very excited to tell you about them.
That's right. So this week will be a very special week for those who take part in it, and it's the first Halloween performance festival. So when you talk about festival, what does it encompass?
Well, we're starting Saturday and Sunday, 26th and 27th, and that's going to be children's theater, all original stuff. So we're doing a show called Count Cavity, and Count Cavity is about a vampire who wasn't allowed to have candy when she was a little vampire, and so when she grows up, she decides to take it out on Halloweenville and take all the candy for herself. It's a musical. There's going to be magic. There's singing, dancing, all sorts of things going on in the show itself, and kids who come and get candy for free.
And they'll want to do that.
Oh yeah.
So children have the opportunity to also be a part of the festival. There's a children's theater.
Oh yeah. We do a lot of children's theater. The company itself, we just did a show called Humpty Dumpty, a hard-boiled mystery, a couple months ago. So now we're focusing a lot on children's theater with our company itself. And our first two shows we want to open up with children's theater that way.
And give us a little. We got hip hop dance.
Hip Hop Dance, November 1st and 2nd, which is November 1st, Day of the Dead, right after Halloween.
First Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
Okay.
They're doing an amazing show called All Hallows Eve, and this is an old show that they did. This is Hip Hop Theory, the company, and we're collaborating with them. They've been around for almost a decade now, doing all sorts of things, workshops. They do a lot for the community, so we're excited about this show too.
And so there's some free movie screenings too?
Free movie screenings. We're doing that the 27th Sunday, starting at 5. We're doing a triple feature. We've got Night of the Living Dead at 9. At 7 o'clock, we've got the original House on Haunted Hill. We've got a few things going on. And probably the one I'm most excited about is the adult theater. The Grand Guignol, the old French theater of terror. People were actually rumored to faint during when this was actually done, 2 to 3 people every night. There's blood, there's gore, there's violence. It's just for adults. So we will be checking IDs.
Checking IDs, right?
Yeah.
Do you have something for people who faint? Are you prepared for those people?
We're prepared, yeah. We'll be all right.
Okay, so we want to let you know, just be prepared when you go in, because there's a possibility that you might faint.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Probably not.
Probably not. Right. There it is. But honestly, this time of year is a very, special time of year for kids, because kids are really amped up about the whole candy and really taking part in it. Are you finding more and more kids are really becoming active on the Halloween holiday?
I think so. I mean, I think kids and adults, everyone. I mean, everyone can enjoy Halloween. I'm a big kid myself. This is why I wanted to do this whole thing anyway, this whole festival. I love Halloween, and I didn't see a lot going on in the Bronx. Little things, but not like a performance festival like this, full week.
So we encourage people to come on out. Now, if people want to come on out, where are they going to?
The Lehman College, that's a speech and theater building. We're going to be in the room called The Set, except for the Hip Hop Theory show. All Hallows Eve will be in the Lovinger Theater, and anyone who wants to find more information, they can go on our website, artdefined.org.
And so you have a 3-day, well, it was at least 3 days that you get, the whole week actually.
The entire week, yeah.
So leading up to it, and so we want to make sure that you get that information out there, that you could have a great and scary time that throughout the course of the week. So how long is the planning process just for a week like this?
We've been at it 2 months really intensely into it, but about 4 months really planning everything to try and get it all together. And this is our first time, so next year we'll probably be planning a little more ahead and do even more.
Well, that's good. Well, we encourage you to have a great time, and thank you for putting this out there and for something the kids and adults can take advantage of.
Thank you so much for having me.
All righty. Well, guess what? We want to tell you that's Eddie Torres. He's the director, and if you want to find out more information, all you got to do is call 347-766-7249. Once again, that number is 347-766-7249. Thanking Eddie for coming and sharing with us, and unfortunately, we're out of shows. So it's been a pleasure coming into your homes. We want to thank our guests for joining us, and most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the Recablecast at 10 p.m. on Cablevision's Channel 67, Verizon Fios, Channel 33, or yes, you can watch us anytime on the World Wide Web at www.bronxnet.org. We encourage you. Have a great week. Don't forget to keep your heart, your mind, and most of all, this channel wide open. Darren Jaime for the crew of Open, signing off saying take care and God bless.